letting me. It's spinning. There we go.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, it's January. And if you're a wrestling fan, you know what that means. It's the Royal Rumble. We're going to break it down, talk some news, talk some predictions. And I may have a rant. Hey, everybody. Obi-Wan Jabroni here. I'm not going to mess around. We've got a hard out. I'm going to introduce my co-host here, Mr. Indie Wrestling himself, Mr. PK. What up? How you doing? Welcome to my channel, the debut of yourself on here. How you doing?
Very good. Yeah, it's interesting to be on your channel instead of
Yeah,
on
I've never
on
done this
Poop's and
before.
everybody else's, which is it's
Yeah,
nice.
this is my first ever one, and it went terrible. It wouldn't go live for some reason. It was a delay on the live when I hit the button, but forgive me. This is my first ever one, and we've already got people in here. I didn't expect
Yeah,
I didn't expect anyone to be in here. Uh,
yeah. We
Gonzo,
got Gonzo in the
how
chat.
you doing? Yeah. Oh, wow. We're not
Yeah,
live. We're not
well,
live apparently.
it says live on the screen in front of me here, live for nearly 2 minutes. So we're looking all right.
Apparently, yeah. Apparently, we're not live. It's gone wrong, PK.
It
Uh,
also says I'm you apparently instead of myself, which is interesting.
no, I've checked. I checked the YouTube. I did check the YouTube. We are live. We are. I did check the YouTube. So,
So yeah,
okay.
different styles. Welcome.
Yeah. I guess Gonzo. Gonzo, you're trolling me already. My
Would you
first
expect
one.
anything less?
No, I didn't expect anything less. Anyway, we are here for something. We're gonna start off with some WWE news that happened yesterday. Um, we'll start off with the video game PK. What do you think? The
It looks like another WWE 2K game. They all look pretty similar for now. It's nice to see casket matches back though. That's one thing I
Yeah,
will say. I'm looking forward to seeing
yeah.
how they play in a
We got
modern
the we
game.
got we got the cover, Cody Rhodes, and
And
for the
then
deluxe.
Bianca and Rhea
Yeah,
on the alternative.
yeah. That which is yeah, no, I don't have an opinion on that. I would have preferred Cody on the deluxe, but whatever. Um,
And then like looks like the collector's edition or the season pass or whatever. It's like the 40 years of WrestleMania. Looks like there
yeah,
might be there's a third cover for that as well in the
yeah,
standard WWE 2K way.
yeah. And
Um,
that's like $100 or so. It is 40 years of WrestleMania version. I should also say, yeah. Let me know in chat if I sound good. I'm using a different mic. Um, so because I've been having some technical issues. Uh, Yeah, that's WWE 24 though. Did you see the trailer? The trailer was pretty good. I must admit, with the whole finish the story business.
Yeah, I like that. I like the fact that this whole Cody finished the story thing has gone from the TV product to other parts of the marketing. I think, and it makes sense to do it, especially on the run up to WrestleMania. It's going to be there in a lot of people's minds. And let's face it, after the shit show that was WWE 2K20, after they
Yeah,
took that year off, 22, 23 were both very good games.
right.
Um, so I think this one's just going to follow on that trend. As long as the roster's good, as long as that story mode's good, and they keep making those improvements like GM mode and things like that,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think they're just on for another winner on their hands.
yeah. It is worth saying, and also, 23 servers will be taken down at some point, probably in a few years. This is the this is the norm, isn't it? They always take the previous game's servers down. So
They seem to have like it reminds me very much of like a Linux long-term support sort of model. Like they'll keep it going for
yeah,
3 years or something after the next game comes out, and then that's it. Then they'll
yeah.
if you didn't upgrade, tough.
Yeah. People don't jump on it right away too. They kind of wait a couple of years for a sale, maybe. But yeah. Did you have anything else for the video game or no?
No, I think I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be
Yeah.
I see just to see what else new they're going to add. Like obviously last year they added things like war games, which is a fun mode. It's not anything groundbreaking, but it's still a fun mode. And it's going to be it's another WWE game. The amount of hours over the decades I've put into those games.
Yeah. It looks interesting. It really does. I don't know if I'm gonna get it day one, but it is out in March, which is strange. They used to come out in November, I think. Something
Used to be well September, October normally, wasn't it? And then so I don't know how much of a big jump it's going to be, but one of the most things I play on this Steam Deck right here is all WWE games on a PS2 emulator. So
that's great. You can't beat the old WWF games. The one on PS2. What was it? Here Comes the Pain. I think was the one, the go-to, wasn't it?
Yeah, and also SmackDown versus Raw 2006 is also a brilliant game.
Yeah, and I think that's the one with Vince on the cover. I think, if memory serves me correct.
I think no, it's Cena and somebody else on the cover of 2006.
Oh,
I think it's Cena and Orton or Cena and Batista.
Vince must have been on an earlier one.
Vince is the original SmackDown versus Raw with like half his face. He's got one blue eye and one red eye.
That was a real. I like that cover. It was a pretty good cover. Yeah, and the other bit of news that happened yesterday was Netflix. Yeah, WWE programming is moving over there, which is huge news. They're getting off cable. I guess they finally realized, PK, no one likes cable. These young kids.
Yeah, they're calling it the streaming experiment. From what I've read, rumors internally, they're calling it the streaming experiment, and also it's worth a lot of money to them. 500 million a year for 10 years.
Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot of dough.
So as the Styles has just said, it's a $5 billion deal. And Netflix have apparently gotten out that they can cancel the agreement after 5 if they don't think it's going well enough, but that still locks them in for 5 years. And from what the press release says, I've actually got the press release in front of me here.
Go ahead.
Marks a major programming shift as Raw leaves linear television for the first time in 31 years. Beginning in January 2025, Netflix will be the exclusive new home for Raw in USA, Canada, UK, Latin America, and other territories, with additional countries and regions to be added over time. Likewise, as part of the agreement, Netflix will also become the home for all WWE shows and specials outside of the US as available, inclusive of Raw, WWE's other weekly shows, SmackDown and NXT, as well as the company's premium live events, including WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Royal Rumble. WWE's award-winning documentaries, original series, forthcoming projects will be available on Netflix internationally beginning in 2025. So from the way that reads to me is they are abandoning cable for Raw, at least. I know they have got a TV deal lined up for SmackDown to go to USA and NXT to go to the CW in America.
Right.
And over here, Discovery, TNT Sports, whatever you want to call it, lost rights to NXT, so that's back on the network now. But TNT Sports until January 2025 have still got Raw and SmackDown.
Right.
But it's like, I see a lot of people have made comments though saying like, "Oh, it's behind the paywall." It's like it's always been behind the paywall. You've always either had to have Sky Sports or TNT Sports.
Give some context. Sky Sports is satellite channel over here. That's what it used to be on for the longest time, for over, was it 30 years? and that was
Yeah,
it was always on Sky. It was Raw was they even put it on live. It was live. Um, BT Sport have it now, right?
yeah. BT Sport recently rebranded to
Right.
TNT Sports.
Okay. I wasn't familiar. Sorry, go ahead. What were you saying? TNT Sports.
So they that at the moment they've still got Raw and SmackDown. The way this reads to me is
Yeah.
that Netflix is going to replace the network.
Oh, geez.
Which
Yeah.
which to be fair, I wouldn't be against it because I've had Netflix for a long time. I get Netflix at like a reduced rate because my phone contract to pay like a small subsidy to go to premium
Right.
rather than paying for the full thing. So if it saves me tenner a month, and I can still get access to all the stuff that I used to get access to, fine. It's more my question's more around the historical content, if
Yeah.
that's going to go up on Netflix, or if it's just going to be everything new from January 2025 is going to be on there. That's going to be the interesting thing, and I'm sure there'll be more releases and things as time goes by.
Yeah, I don't have Netflix. It's going to be a shame because it's, I don't know what the Netflix plans are. So, are you going to have a special tier to get that content? I
Well,
don't
what they've
know.
clarified is it's going to be available on all tiers of content. If you have the version of Netflix that includes adverts, you won't see any major difference. You'll watch Raw, you'll get the normal advert breaks, and nothing will be different.
That's fine with me personally because I can just, as you do on advert breaks, you mess with your phone, you use the bathroom. Gonzo says, I thought they were doing cable and Netflix. Well, it looks like they are for now, and then eventually will get taken off TV, right, PK?
Yeah, that's the way that reads to me. It's as
Yeah.
Raw leaves linear television for the first time since its inception 31 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see how that pans out. I think it's good. I think it's a good thing in the long run. Because let's face it, if anyone's used, obviously in America they've been forced to Peacock, which hasn't been a great experience from what I've seen. Even over here, though, we've still got the original network, and because the US is on Peacock, there's been no investment in that original network in a long time.
Right.
The interface isn't very good,
Right.
and now they don't really have to. They can focus on the content and let Netflix handle the interface side of things.
Yeah. And different styles says WWE is in three places. Peacock, Fox, and Netflix, and also USA Network. Right.
Yeah. So
Raw,
well, it's going to be disappearing from Fox. It's going to be CW, USA, and Netflix. For the US at least, and then for the internationally, it's going to be everything's going to be on Netflix, which is again a lot. Quite a few people have got BT Sport. Mostly, if you're on EE for your telephone, for your mobile phone over here. One of the benefits you can have for having EE is a free subscription to TNT Sports and
Discovery. I wish I knew that. I wish I'm on Sky Mobile. I mean, I can always move. I don't have Sky Television though. So I mean, when you have Sky Television, you do get a discount on Netflix.
So that's why I've got access to TNT Sports basically, is because I've got
of your phone.
So that I've just picked that as one of my package extras.
Yeah. Well, they may be getting a new customer. Because honestly, I mean, Sky are great. I've never had a problem with Sky Mobile, and my internet's with them as well. I've never had an issue. No, I rarely get issues, but we got Lady Ninja in the chat. Thanks for coming out. Hi everyone. I liked and shared you guys. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I don't have anything. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Our first little live stream experiment.
Yeah, but it finally happened. They finally let me on YouTube. You made a grave mistake, YouTube. You finally let me on. There's going to be a lot of shenanigans that's going to be happening. But no, to be honest, I'm not happy with this whole thing because it's threw me off. It threw me when it happened, when I read about it yesterday. I shared the story from The Verge because that's where I seen it on my feed. Yeah, I wasn't happy. I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna have to sign up to things now, and it's gonna throw me for a loop because like when you're used to again for context, I've got the network because we have the network in this country. We don't have Peacock, and I'm so used to it, like the interface and everything. Now they're gonna give me a new interface, you know. But again, you know, Netflix is everywhere, right? PK, like it's on smart TVs, it's on Xboxes, it's everywhere. It's on your phone, so that's good in that way.
Yeah, it gives it a much bigger reach, and most people, even if they, well, how much stuff have people watched on Netflix that they had no intention of really ever watching and then became hooked on it?
Yeah, real quick, PK, Lady Ninja's going back to work, so just got to make sure to read. You know, she's going back to work. She's on break right now, so yeah. Thanks for popping in while you're on break.
Thank you very much.
You're running a risk, so thanks for taking one for the team. Sorry, PK, go ahead.
So yeah, so the like there's quite a lot of things I've become hooked on just because I watched it on Netflix randomly, and
right.
If you've got that right mindset to sit down and enjoy it as a piece of entertainment, which is what obviously Netflix are going to brand it as, they could end up with a bigger reach. They could end up with a bigger fan base out of this. And I mentioned it to someone in work before, and he instantly went, "Oh, it's going to go onto Netflix." It's like, yeah, January 2025 though. Oh, okay. And he almost looked disappointed it wasn't now. So because he's a wrestling fan, but he doesn't really. He doesn't watch it as much as he would like because he's got kids and things, so he doesn't really want to pay for the network and all this other stuff.
Right.
That's where they're going to hook people back in.
Yeah. Netflix has a bigger reach, and you know, it's like you said, it's complex with the whole international with the network, and then the Peacock over there. It's confusing. People just want one thing. I'm glad they've done it, but not, I suppose. But yeah. I'll sign up. I'll sign up because it's better than doing the dodgy way, isn't it? For the weekly shows.
I'd say so personally. Like I've not used any dodgy streams in a long time.
Yeah, I will say breaking. You know, breaking. I'm not breaking any rules. I hope, but no. I always see a lot of the American adverts. You know, so I'm just saying.
And then the other bit of news that came out yesterday was The Rock is now Triple H's boss, effectively, after he's been appointed to the board of directors for TKO.
Oh no! He's got his finger in another pie.
And also, he now legally owns the name of The Rock, which he's never had that trademark himself, and now he does.
Yeah,
which is going to be worth a lot of money.
And thanks for coming in. I can't read that name.
Relentless.
Oh, Relentless. Sorry, yeah. Shan sent me. Okay, yeah. Thanks. Yeah, thanks, Shan. If you're out there listening, thanks for sending Relentless. While I'm here, real quick. Oh yeah, he's just saying something to Gonzo. Yeah. Sorry, you were saying about The Rock, and he's got more stakes and stuff.
Yeah, so he's now on the board of directors for TKO. They made the group that owns WWE and UFC. Obviously, The Rock's WWE legend, been involved in the UFC for a long time as well. He presented the winner of Jorge Masvidal and Nate Diaz with the BMF title a couple of years ago. But yeah, as Gonzo says, he's got his trademark to his name. He's got his trademark to his likeness. All this stuff that WWE has held for a long time.
Relentless says, "Does The Rock need more money and power?" We'll answer that in a minute. Well, PK answered it, but yeah, and I'll say no. And doesn't he own the XFL as well?
He is the current owner of the XFL. Whether that's obviously I'm not kept up to date with where that's up to, when it's going to come back, if it's going to come back, and in what form. But he technically does own the XFL as well. So, yeah, Donovan says his daughter's the next GM of NXT, which is interesting in the fact of they mustn't have. The way I see that is they haven't got a lot of faith in her as a wrestler. So let's give you like an on-screen
let's give you this
GM role, which isn't great when she's so young.
Yeah, because Stephanie's gone. So why, they can't put Stephanie in charge of anything. So
no, and yeah, technically, I don't know how much he's going to be involved in the day-to-day dealings of WWE or UFC, but technically, the WWE reports to TKO and The Rock's on their board of directors. So I said it in like a joking tone, but technically, yeah, he's Triple H's boss. So it's
gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting with Rock if he's having a match at some point, right? It's gonna be interesting. They may fight for the company. I don't know.
I wouldn't put it past them. Well, apart from the fact that Triple H has been told he's got to retire because of the was it his heart he had issues with not so long ago. Yeah. If Triple H could still go, and that wouldn't surprise me, and it would be the longest, most drawn out 40-minute match of two people when knackered after 3.
Yeah, well, they may do that. They may do the Trump thing again. They may just have a Triple H may just have a wrestler wrestling for him, and he's just the manager, or that in the corner, so to speak. They may do something like that, and maybe The Rock could have someone if he can't be asked doing it. So
yeah, and the other thing with The Rock as well is it's insurance, because he obviously he's got all these movie contracts and movie deals. A lot of the times, the insurance companies who insure him for the movies will not let him wrestle. So
yeah. Gonzo said they're never getting rid of the bloodline now. Yeah.
No. Well, if rumors are to be believed, Cody is not finishing his story this year, and the bloodline's going to bloody carry on. So
they're going to keep teasing that, aren't they?
So that's going to run things into the ground. Triple H still with Stephanie for Daddy's Money and Power. Last rumor I heard was their relationship was on the rocks. I genuinely don't know what's true on that, though. It's all rumor mill.
Yeah, it's all TM. We don't cover TMZ over here.
No, it's what I will say is I'm called the indie wrestling guy for very good reason. That's all indie wrestling DVDs ranging from Dragon Gate, Ring of Honor, small British companies, PWG, Dragon Gate USA. All that's my love of wrestling is indie wrestling. I commentate on indie wrestling, but I've been enjoying WWE's product over the last few months since Triple H took over.
And let's be honest, even when Vince was there, I mean, production-wise, WWE, can't be beat. As a professional organization, production-wise, and so I know Kevin Dunn's left recently.
Kevin Dunn's gone. Yeah, there's lots of shake-ups over there. And it's all been for the better in my mind. Like the camera work recently on Raw has been so much better because you haven't had all these quick cuts that Kevin Dunn was known for. Yeah. And given the guys chance to get things over, everyone's talking about how good the Cody and Punk segment was on Raw this week, and it was
fantastic. It was. I watched it because I fell asleep during Raw. We'll get into this now. The Raw that just went by Monday. Pretty good Raw. From what I only watched a few segments. I did I fell asleep. It's on so late over here. That's the problem. So I'm at
the other segment I really enjoyed was Gunther and Seth. I thought that was a really good segment.
Did you pick up the line? He messed up the line. He said Sunday instead of Saturday. I was for the pay-per-view. Or PLE, sorry. I still can't get used to PLE, by the way. I wanted to call it pay-per-view, but it's PLE, a premium live event now. You got to go with the new thing.
But then he very cleverly he posted on Twitter later that he meant when he said Sunday, he meant European time, where he's from.
Oh, yeah, okay. I'll give him that. I'll give him that.
And so like he covered up for obviously it was covered up for quite nicely on the night, but then I thought that was funny.
Technically it's on at 1 o'clock in the morning, the PLE. So yeah, technically it's a Sunday. Sometimes they are on midnight, which is better. Well,
back in my day, Sonny was a hottie, and now she's in jail for vehicular manslaughter.
Oh, God, you're derailing us now, Relentless. You're derailing. But you got it. What's best for business? Go with the chat room, PK.
One thing I will say is I really enjoyed the Dark Side of the Ring episode about Chris Candido and Sonny because it wasn't about her; it was about Chris, and that's where it needed to be. Chris's story kind of gets forgotten in the fact that she's such a train wreck.
Yeah, but I will admit, if anyone, because I don't know if people know, Sonny was my first. It was WWF at the time. She was my first like crush because like she was like one of, well, not the first woman there, but you had Sherry. And
she was the first to get really big based purely on her looks and the fact that she wasn't an active wrestler. Like the well, at one point she was the most downloaded person on AOL going back all those years.
Good old AOL, dial-up internet. Those were the days.
Drawing pictures of Sonny in line by line.
Yeah. Then Sable came along and ruined everything.
One thing I will say is like I don't always see eye to eye on Jim Cornette's opinions on wrestling, but one of my favorite lines he ever said was when he was talking about comparing Sonny and Sable. He said, "I liked Sonny because she was an upfront cunt. She was just horrible to your face. But Sable was a backstabbing cunt instead." And I just thought, obviously, found the language. But that was, I just love that quote. I think it's brilliant.
We're not to 1,000 yet, so I think we're good.
When we get to 1,000, we'll see if we can get a beep. If we can get a bleep to work on StreamYard.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we'll need it, especially if we get Riv on.
I don't know who was better, Sable or Sonny though. I mean, it's a tough choice, but Sable, I don't know, but Sonny was up there. God, Sonny is just, she looks terrible now. It's unbelievable.
She does not look like the same person anymore. It's again to quote Dave Chappelle, cocaine's a hell of a drug.
She's doing all that. She was doing that OnlyFans for a while, and all the
and like the pay for time to lie in the bed with her and all this. It's some seedy shit going on there, to say the least.
Well, I guess if you got it, flaunt it, right? I suppose, and I guess her fame got her over because, like, everyone remembers Sonny when we're all kids back then.
I think it was New Gen era, wasn't it? It's when a lot of people. It wasn't. You look back on it, it wasn't great as a period of time for wrestling, but it's when a lot of people got into it in a lot of ways.
Yeah, she is relentless. I seen when she got put away. When she's in what you call like the orange overalls. There is a technical name for it, but I forgot. Yeah, she looked busted as hell. Like I use it. That's not the same person, is it? But
it's one of those as well. It's deserved at the end of the day because
she messed up.
She killed someone when she shouldn't have been driving in the first place. It's. I agree with that style. Sonny definitely at least respected the wrestling business. Sable genuinely definitely didn't.
She didn't. She was just there for eye candy, like a lot of the divas were. But you like to say, sex sells, and it worked.
It definitely works, and especially in the Attitude Era. It's if it wasn't bloody brawls, it was bloody. Jerry Lawler talking about puppies and bloody swimsuit competitions and.
Oh, is it a prison jumpsuit? Okay, I thought there was because that's what that show is about, isn't it? PK, New Orange, whatever.
Orange is the New Black. Yeah.
I don't know these shows. I'm not cultured. I don't know these things. I'm just the guy behind the microphone. Anyway, tangent aside, we are here. We are here for something. We are here to predict things, and the PLE or Premium Live event or pay per view, depending on what you want to say. Yeah, this weekend, this Saturday, and while I'm on this segment, we are gonna live react to it. Me, PK, and whoever else wants to join. Obviously, we're not going to be showing the pay per view here because I'll be shot, so and hunted down and taken to jail. So that's not happening. So get your own pay per view. Anyway, PK matches over to you.
Yeah, so obviously Royal Rumble this Saturday, coming from St. Petersburg, Florida, at the baseball arena again, the Tropicana Field. That's the one. Only 4 announced matches so far, and we know some of the Royal Rumble participants. So, going from, I'll go from bottom to top. So we've got Logan Paul versus Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens obviously won the tournament on SmackDown to earn the title shot for the US Championship against Logan Paul. And I'm actually quite looking forward to that one. I genuinely think that's going to be Logan Paul's best match.
Yeah. And I'm going with Logan Paul on that one, just because, I mean, let's be honest, guys, this and lady, this is a social media megastar as much as, we don't like, as fans, we don't like people on the outside coming in. But I will say this, Bad Bunny did a pretty good job. So,
And let's face it, SmackDown's a show of part-time champions at the moment.
And,
so Logan Paul fits in with that.
Yeah, pretty much. And this may not be a popular opinion. I think he's a pretty good promo, to be honest. And I've just realized I should have got a filter for this mic, like a pop filter. But
he's very punchable, and I think that works with his promo style and the stuff he says.
It brings the heat. It genuinely gets people mad. I remember that one time on Raw, he called out that ring announcer, JoJo, I think her name is, because they weren't
Samantha Irvin. It's Ricochet's fiance.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Is that the ring? That's the ring announcer I don't like.
She's the ring announcer who tries to get herself over instead of the wrestlers.
Chelsea.
Yeah. It's apparently she's been told to stop doing that from what I've read online.
She still does it. She still does. I hate that high pitch when she goes, and then sometimes she goes growly on some of them. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that ring announcer. I'm sorry, but that was a tangent. Sorry, there's going to be many tangents on this. Yeah, who are you going with, PK, on that one?
It's going to be Logan Paul. He's unfortunate. He is bringing eyes to the belt. As I said, it's not like you've got this defending 30 days thing anymore. They've kind of thrown out the window with a match that we'll get to in a minute.
Forgot to say in chat, if people in chat want to put your prediction too, I completely unprofessional of me. I forgot to say, if people in chat want to put your prediction as well, you feel free. I'll show.
Yeah, we'll pop them up.
We'll see how many you get wrong, and I'll hold you accountable on Saturday. How's that? We both will. No, it was fun. It's fun doing this because we can see who was right and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Be quite. Eventually, it might be fun to do like a predictions pick'em.
Oh, we're gonna do an after. We'll do an after one. Yeah, we'll do like an after thing of reviewing it and stuff and what we thought. Because that's the thing with pay-per-views or PLEs. It's like it's gotta sink in, hasn't it, PK? After you watch one, it's kind of you got to collect your thoughts together sometimes and think about it. So. We'll come
especially
back.
when we're watching it in the early hours of the morning here. It's going to be
we got
a little bit of a break to get our head thoughts together before we review it.
But... Yeah, and plus other people's reviews come out too. Not that they're going to influence us or anything. It's just that it's always good it's good to have a guideline, I suppose, just what other people, not that we can form our own opinions, but it's always good to see what everyone else thinks, just to see if they're on the same page, or. And stuff. So, yeah, well, no one. I killed enough time there for people to put their pick in. Logan Paul and Kevin Owens. No one did. So, do you have anything else for that one, or do you want to move on to the next one?
No, I think we're good there. We can move on. The match number 3 on the list in front of me. So in reverse order, we got Roman Reigns, accompanied by Paul Heyman, go against Randy Orton, AJ Styles, and LA Knight in a fatal 4-way for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. And let's face it, Roman's retaining by hook or by crook, probably by solo interference and screwy means. It's going to be a Reigns retain.
Yeah,
on this one.
I agree. Oh, by the way, I should have said this at the top of the thing, but the more matches may be added. We are recording this before SmackDown, right, PK? So more matches may be added on SmackDown or match. We don't know yet.
Yeah,
so
like I was hoping that maybe like they would have announced last night on NXT that Kamala Hayes was in the Rumble or something, but there was none of that. So I think the majority of this is gonna be expanded upon on Friday. And
yeah. If any more matches do get added, we'll cover that on when we do the live react. We'll come on like 15 minutes before, so then we can cover that. Different styles pick Logan.
Logan in the Kevin Owens and Logan Paul, and Randy Orton in the
okay.
4-way.
Okay, yeah, I hate to be. Yeah, I'm glad we've got some disagreement because, to be honest, yeah, I can't see Roman losing. You know,
no, by all accounts, he's not going to be a chamber. He's going to be it's basically going to be Royal Rumble, then WrestleMania for him.
Yeah. It's I don't know if I want to say this, but it's possible The Rock could turn up. I don't know. I'm kind of hesitant on that one though. Yeah, it is. It's possible. It is. So
it wouldn't surprise me if he did, especially with given his current position.
It's a big one. It is a big paper. It's not a small one. So I am hesitant though. I know they say go with your gut feel. My gut feeling is telling me The Rock will show up and kind of tease more. So all right, forget. Yeah. I'm going with it. I'm going with the gut. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I'm going with that. I think The Rock will show up at the end. I think Roman will win. To be honest, he'll cheat. Someone will interfere, like you say. Roman loses.
Unfortunately, there's a bloodline match formula now, and the fact that it's a fatal 4-way and there is no disqualifications.
And he's had it for so long. He's had that time. I know it's boring. I know it is, and everyone's sick of it now, and including me. The whole bloodline thing is really played out, but yeah, I think they're gonna keep it on Roman, even though it's like a Brock situation. You know, I mean, Roman's there less, right?
Yeah,
it's annoying.
Yeah, if it's even possible, Roman's there even less than Brock was, which is.
He's a good promo. Again, he's a good promo though. I mean, he's got Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman is so good.
He's currently sat at 1,240 days. So it's
so long. It's so long, isn't it? It's like
if they squeak that out to WrestleMania, you're talking close to 1,400 days at that point. So even if he does lose at Mania, no one's going to.
I don't know who he's going to lose to, because my thought was he's going to be against The Rock at Mania. I guess that's not going to be the case.
It's that's the one which is a bit up in the air. So I think that's actually
it's good we don't know. It's good in a way. It's good we don't know, and we don't know what's going to happen. I do prefer that because you genuinely get surprised. We are going to get surprised then at the Royal Rumble, so that's cool to me. I'd rather not know.
Yeah, and I think that's what's going to make this show on Saturday. I always look forward to the Royal Rumbles anyway. There's only one or two Rumble matches in the last few years that have been a bit, and shows that have been a bit pants, to say the least.
Yeah.
But the But the fact that it's so open this time round and there's such a buzz around the product, I think it's going to be a really good show. I thought last year's Royal Rumble was a very good match. I thought, and that the whole like Gunther Iron Man performance and Cody and everything else was so well done. I genuinely thought last year that they were going to boo Cody when he won, especially after coming in at number 30, and no one did. So I think it's going to be good. I think, as I said, I think it's pretty much unanimous. But well, it's definitely unanimous between the two of us that it's going to be retains.
Yeah, I hate to spend too much time, but I hate to spend all this time on it. But I just can't see if it is going to be Rock and Roman whenever. I can't see it. I can't see Roman having the championship. I just don't see that scenario. Because obviously, if he had the championship, the Rock's not winning that.
No,
I mean, why would he? He's not. The Rock's not coming back full time, So yeah.
Technically, they could build up Rock for SummerSlam. They could still finish Cody's story at WrestleMania and then build Rock up for SummerSlam.
Yeah, but I suppose they could. We don't know the Rock. Well, I don't know the Rock schedule because I don't follow the Rock, but yeah. So Gonzo says, he's a turnip. I agree. The Rock is a turnip.
Yeah.
And then can't get the turnip. I can't get the turnip coming out of my head. Roman will lose to Solo in a couple of years. That is possible because they did split. They split with the one Uso. Now Solo, I've heard Jim Cornette mention another family member. I forgot who. PK.
There's there's the guy who's currently wrestling for MLW as well. His name's completely gone out of my head, but he's also another member of that family. So and as well, he's not signed yet, but that's not saying that he won't be signed at some point. And Bloodline is fearing at Rumble, and The Rock stops it. Yeah, clear. That's very plausible.
It's a DQ, so that's a DQ then, right? DQ
no DQs and a fail 4-way.
Okay.
So I think the match is going to be excellent. I think it's just going to be plunder. Yeah. It's going to be chaos. I think it's going.
Well, that goes with my predict, like the Rock turning up, pretty much. I mean, technically, Yeah.
You've got two of the best workers in the company in AJ and Randy. You've got Roman, who when he's on, he's on, and you've got LA Knight, whose charisma covers up for the fact that he's not the greatest actual in-ring wrestler.
Yeah.
And everyone else around him can hide the fact that he's not got as much going on in ring as the rest of the people in the match.
Right. Yeah, that was good. That's probably the most interesting match because there's so much dynamic there. The thing is, I'm counting Randy Orton out because he's just come back. They're not giving. I can't see them giving Randy the belt or title.
That's the one I was thinking of. Gonzo, Jacob Fatu.
Yes, Jacob Fatu. That's the one. That's the one Jim Cornette mentioned. Thanks, Gonzo.
Yeah, he's been very good in MLW from what I've seen.
Yeah. It's Jacob though. It is Jacob Fatu. I hope they bring him in. That would be good. Now the faction would get, they might do. You never know, right? It is the Rumble. You never know. I mean, we'll discuss. Actually, I'll save that. But we're done with that match. We kind of went on. We went on one with that one. But it is a big match, though.
It is, and Putin Ninja has joined us.
Has he? Oh, is he in the? Is he in the green room?
He's in the chat.
Oh, he's in the chat.
Middle-aged gamers just seen you live watching now.
Oh, hey, Pook. Oh, middle-aged gamers. Yeah, people checking this out for the first time. Yeah, I will say this at the end, but everyone's links is in the description. But yeah, middle-aged gamers on YouTube though. Yeah, check out Poop Ninja, longtime friend of mine. Um, you derailed. Like we got derailed. Sorry, PK.
No, I think that's enough time on the Fatal 4-Way.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
It's going to be a good match. I think we all know
it
it,
is.
don't we?
It is. It's going to be definitely a good match, and it's unpredictable, which I like. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this live react now. The more I think about it. So next match, PK.
Next match, we have the Women's Royal Rumble match, which declared for the match at the moment. We have Bayley, Nia Jax, Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair, Maxine Dupree, and Ivy Nile. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of surprises in that one to get it to the 30. It wouldn't surprise me if Trish showed up again. Wouldn't surprise me if Lita showed up, and like Michelle McCool and Mickey James and the usual surprises that they've had over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
To me, that's Bayley. I think that storyline wise makes sense.
So that's your pick. Bayley's your pick.
Bayley's my pick. Bianca's boring. She's won it already. Becky's won it already. Nia Jax, no one wants to see win it. And I think Bayley, especially with the damage control stuff, makes sense.
Yeah. Let us know in chat before I say mine, because mine's going to be very unpopular. Let us know in chat who's your pick from the women's. But you know what? They're crazy enough to do this just to piss us off. I'm going with Nia Jax because I can see that happening though, because people can't stand it, and like, oh, there was I think on Raw there was the promo, like even Becky, was it Raw SmackDown, but it was one of the two, and she actually said you've injured a few people or something like that. She actually called that out, which I thought was pretty hilarious.
Yeah, and of what they've done with her since she's come back, other than like that first couple of weeks where she legitimately injured Rhea Ripley and a couple of other people because she's still clumsy, she's done good work since she's come back. And I think that the promos, especially with Becky, she's surprised me with the promos.
I've got
Becky.
Before I move, Guns says AJ Lee. Now, I laugh, but you never know.
Never know.
Know.
She's in shape. She was in heels recently, in very, very good shape, and she's working with WoW at the moment.
And you know that guy CM Punk's back there. So
yeah,
you never know. You know, I don't know if you're being sarcastic, so I can't tell, but.
It wouldn't surprise me if they gave her the Iron Woman performance.
It really wouldn't. It honestly really wouldn't surprise me. I would be shocked, but I'm sticking with Nia Jax just for the fact. Now my nitpick with Nia Jax is she uses the word squash. I don't like that because I'm not sure. Well, she's obviously used. I don't know if she's using it in the wrestling term or just squash. So that's my pet peeve with her. I don't like how she's using that. But she is a wrestler, so I guess she's allowed. That's the rules, right? You're allowed to use the inside terms, right, PK? As long as you're a wrestler. I don't like using them because I'm not a wrestler, obviously.
Yeah, Lagonzo's saying it's my long shot pick. Yeah, and as long shot picks go, it's logical.
Yeah. No, it's a good pick. Okay, so yeah, it's a good pick. It's a pick that I wouldn't have thought of. PK wouldn't have thought of, and anyone else, So I guess it's a very good pick. I applaud that pick. Thumbs up.
Well, I think out of all, it seems to be a pattern, to be fair, and it's a shame because they've got enough women on the roster between NXT and everything to build it all out. But like the women's Royal Rumble match usually feels like a bit of an afterthought. I think last year it didn't because Rhea Ripley had such a surge. And it was logical for Rhea to win it. This year, your logical picks are either Becky, Bayley, or Nia. Personally, I've gone Bayley because I think I'll get onto it in a minute, but I think the Raw Rumble, the men's Rumble is very Raw heavy, whereas the SmackDown Rumble leans into the SmackDown side of the women's Rumble leans to the SmackDown side of things.
That's true, but they have kind of been building up Nia and Ripley. Rhea Ripley. That they have been building that up kind of in the background, so that's why I kind of picked Nia Jax. What was your reason for Bailey though?
I think it's going to do wonders for the damage control side going forward. Obviously, they've had teasers of ousting Bailey from the group, and like, oh, Bailey screws up and they're all over her, but then she'll do something that'll get her back in the graces.
Yeah.
I think she wins the Rumble, she fails to beat Rhea, and that'll be the ousting from the group. And damage control will be pretty much all Japanese group apart from Dakota Kai, and Bailey can then go off and feud with EO and whatever the case may be, and eventually become champion again. Because let's face it, she's worked hard and she deserves it.
Yeah, Gonzo says Bailey or Becky, so I don't know if he's changing his pick. He's having doubts, I think, before we move on. If it's Nia, the Rock family. Oh, what's that? The Rock family.
The Rock family will ruin wrestling.
Yeah, that's true.
There you go, Takedo. She does.
Yeah.
Fair statement.
Middle-aged gamers, of course. That's talking about grab them cakes. Well, who was that? Junkyard Dog said that was a song, right? Junkyard Dog song. Grab them cakes. Look it up. It's fantastic. It's great. He's not talking about the food cake either, or maybe he is.
You never know with that lot in the 80s. There's a series called Dark Side of the Ring, which is just about to a 5th series for a reason.
I've only seen a few of those Dark Side of the Rings. They're pretty good. I watched the ones that I'm interested in, like Owen Hart and Benoit, things like that. The ones that I'm interested
I've watched them all, even the ones that I had no idea about the guy going into it. I've really enjoyed. It's well worth watching in their entirety. They're just very, very well done.
They are on YouTube. You know, they probably
the majority of them are.
Majority of them are on YouTube. So yeah. Right, are we done with that one? Did everyone get their picks in? I know Gonzo said AJ Lee, but he did say Becky and Bailey, so he's having.
Yeah, he said AJ Lee was his long shot, and then Bailey or Becky was his.
You got to pick one, Gonzo.
Standard pick.
You got to pick one or the other.
Well, I'm going to, and then what we're expecting to be the main event of the show. We got the men's Royal Rumble match. Declared for the men's Royal Rumble match so far, we have Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, Shinsuke Nakamura, Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre, Gunther, Chad Gable, Otis, Akira Tozawa, Kofi Kingston, and Damian Priest.
Who wants to go for it? Because I have no idea.
Gonzo's sticking with his long shot.
Okay.
Gonzo thinks AJ Lee.
Gonzo's gonna beat. Gonzo is gonna surprise and just like say, I told you, motherfuckers, that he's gonna. He won't stop talking about it as well, you know. If Gonzo turns out to be right, he won't stop talking about it. Anyway, sorry, PK, go ahead.
Of middle-aged gamers, what few Dark Side episodes are not on YouTube or on Daily Motion? Yeah, Daily Motion's a good place.
Right, yeah. Are we allowed to mention these?
Probably not.
Am I gonna get arrested? Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
We've not hit the magic 1,000, so I think we should be under the radar for the moment.
Yeah, not yet. Yeah, go ahead.
So for me, the men's Rumble, there's two obvious winners: Punk to go up against Seth, Cody to finish the story against Roman, and then the outside pick that I would actually love to see happen, especially after last year, is Gunther. Yeah, after the promo on Raw, after the over 60 minutes last year, and that match at the mini match at the end with Cody before the final elimination, and let's face it, he's deserved it. Like that Intercontinental title reign's been amazing, and that's what you call a long reign with drama and the in-ring work to back it up.
Yeah.
So I'm going to cheat slightly. I'm going to have a long shot pick of Gunther and my heart pick of Gunther. My head pick is CM Punk, because I think Cody's going to get his match with Roman another way. He's probably potentially going to win the Elimination Chamber. and get his match with Roman that way.
Yeah. We're agreeing all the way. I hate to. It's just, yeah, like you see. Do I want CM Punk to win? No, I don't. I just got a feeling they'll just go with that though, because I mean he's kind of been talking about it and stuff, and
there's a reason why he came back, not just the money and stuff, but like he wants that main event. He wants to win the
Cody.
Rumble.
He wants to go out on a he wants to go out on a good on a good note as well. Don't forget, he's still got to prove me wrong. Still, I'm kind of getting there. I'm kind of warming up to Punk, I guess. That promo was very good. I never knew his dad was an electrician. I never knew that. And then he said to Cody, CM Punk's the American dream, more than him.
Yeah. And then Cody with his comments of "I'm more CM Punk than CM Punk." I thought that was very well done as well, and again made sense.
It was such a good segment, or promo. Yeah, I think like you, head pick CM Punk, and then dream pick would be Gunther. Even though I always say it every time in our private calls about his ring gear. It's a pet peeve of mine that it always has been, with no knee pads and elbow pads. But I mean, I can forgive it because Gunther's so great. He's such a professional, promo wise, and he comes out in his suits and everything, and yeah, his demeanor is so good. Hopefully build him up more, and this will definitely build him up more. It was great. So
yeah, Gonzo is Punk the number 5 entrant. I've not seen any numbers revealed yet, so I couldn't comment.
Yeah, we don't know.
Personally.
I don't like to put too much stock in that. I like to get surprised, hopefully like all of you, because that's why we're doing the live react. Hopefully you guys can follow along with us too on your. I know Pook / Middle Age Gamers has got Peacock, so hopefully he can follow along with us too, and everyone else can get on a stream of some sorts and follow, because that's what it's all about. PKs. It's like the video game events. We love to get genuinely surprised and shocked.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, he tweeted 5 and erased it. Okay, fair enough.
Okay.
If he is 5, that's going to be a pretty long shift for him, and I think that will be a statement from Punk of, I want to have a decent Iron Man performance and not just come in at 28 or 29 and win.
They don't pick their numbers anymore, do they? Or did they do it on the event? I can't remember.
No, they've not done it on like camera in a long time.
I miss that. I do miss that, because it kind of gives us something else to talk about.
Like the moments where people would get beaten up and their numbers stolen, and like the was it the very first Royal Rumble, I believe, with Ted DiBiase bought the number 30 off the person who had it to try and get an easy victory, and then didn't in the end. There's that did add a fair bit of fun and drama to the proceedings. So, but it's let's face it, they've also had Royal Rumble matches where there was the entrants were less than 60 seconds apart, and the match lasted 40 minutes. So I think they're a bit loose when it comes to the rules with the Royal Rumble.
Interesting, he tweeted 5 though. Maybe that was kind of like teasing, maybe like just to throw people off. I know they do that sometimes on social media, or it gets people talking, doesn't it, as well? It gets people speculating, things like that. So I think it could have been that. I don't know. I mean, for all we know, it could have been sleep tweeting.
And then he erased it the next day because he was so overdone that. So
oh crap! Yeah. I've kind of spoiled something. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's possible though. But I mean, it's getting us talking about it, so it worked.
Yeah,
it's worked.
If there's one thing Punk's good at, is putting something random out on social media and getting the entire wrestling world talking about it.
Yeah, don't. This Rumble is going to do very well. Obviously, because of
Yeah.
CM. There's so many big names. Drew McIntyre's in it, right? As
Yeah,
well.
Drew McIntyre, all of Alpha Academy. So I think Chad Gable could have a really good run of this Rumble. He's not going to win it, but I think he could have like a good 30, 40 minutes in
Yeah,
there and really
yeah,
cement himself. Damian Priest in there, and he's the Money in the Bank holder, so that's adds a bit of drama to
yeah.
things.
He's still not. He's gonna. My prediction for that is gonna cash that in at Mania. I just. It's been too. It's too like. He's had it too long.
He's got a year, hasn't he, from when it
Yeah,
happened, which was July. So he's got a couple of months, if
yeah,
anything.
yeah,
It's going to be Mania, or it's going to be literally right before Money in the Bank. It's going to be that like
yeah.
a month left
So
to
there's
go.
that. There's that factor too. Don't. We can't forget. I know we forget about that, but that could switch everything up. Hell, he may even lose it. Like what's his face, Baron Corbin.
Kennedy, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't think he will. I mean, there's been, I don't think they'll do another loss. But yeah, don't forget there is that briefcase lingering around. So
Yeah, Gonzo, I think he beats Roman after Roman wins.
yeah,
That would be a swerve. Like at the end of the day, when he won the briefcase, the Raw title scene wasn't very well fleshed out, and
right,
now you've got McIntyre, Gunther, Punk, all vying for Seth's belt, with Cody
right,
setting his sights on Roman. So I think it's going to be fun to see, and I'm looking forward to the actual match itself. The talent they've got at the moment. I think
yeah,
Cesaro's going to have some fun spots. Kofi's going to try and have his usual like elimination spot. I know the last couple haven't gone great for him, but there's always that chance that it's going to be another memorable one again, because you never know what you're going to get with Kofi.
yeah, yeah,
The whole New Day and Imperium stuff's been very good as well, so I'm looking forward to
yeah,
seeing how that plays into the Rumble. That match that went to complete chaos on Raw was one of the highlights of the show.
yeah. They're doing the holy shit chant, which I've not heard for a while. That's always good to hear. Obviously, they bleep it, so censor it because it's TV. But yeah, that was good to see or hear. I'm looking forward to the Rumble though. In general, I am. Rumble, like you say, PK. Rumble, the Royal Rumbles are always good. There's always elements of surprises, and I like how the commentary rattles off the records as well. This person spent such and such a time and stuff. I like that stuff. I like the stats.
Yeah, I love seeing those Royal Rumble by the numbers videos. There's just
Yeah,
something about them that you watch them, you get hyped for the Rumble, then you realize the Rumble's the start of that road to WrestleMania, and
yeah,
that gets you in the mood for
yeah.
WrestleMania. And it's that you get it's the start of 3 months of
Build up.
WWE content to look forward to.
Yeah, I should have said
The,
that. I should have said that beginning as well. We're in that. We're officially in nearly officially in WrestleMania season coming up from Saturday after the
and the
Rumble.
fact that you've got Elimination Chamber in Perth in Australia, which is again like those international pay-per-views have done really well for them,
Yeah, that's
especially
gonna
on the
that's
crowd
gonna
front.
throw us off, isn't it, PK? That time zone and the Americans.
Yeah, that's going to be like an early morning job for us, and then God knows what it is in America. It'd be more like us with a regular PLE. Gonzo, I'm a CM Punk guy, but I don't want to see him winning the championship due to him being injured easily. Always a concern. Look at the AEW run. I
Yeah,
love AEW, but he had the belt twice, got injured twice, and then his attitude and stuff backstage, and just the chaos that was around him. Obviously, we haven't seen or heard any of that in WWE. The talk of him wanting to assist with NXT and potentially take over from Shawn Michaels at some point, actually quite exciting. Like a generation of talent trained by him would
yeah,
be very interesting.
yeah,
Um, with Norman Smiley and Robbie Brookside and for William Regal and the regular people that they've got there. That's exciting,
yeah,
and no matter where you stand and from a wrestling point of view, it's exciting times. You've got everything going on with WWE. You've got AEW finally feeling like they're righting the ship after a shaky couple of months. If anyone hasn't seen it, the stuff with Samoa Joe, I know it's a Royal Rumble prediction show, but the stuff with Samoa Joe and Hook on Dynamite last week was fantastic. And that title scene in AEW feels really like vibrant again. And then you've got obviously All In Wembley 2 coming up, and you've got WWE going to Germany, WWE going to France. It's going to be a really good 12 months for wrestling. And then January next year, Netflix kicks in, and it's going to be interesting going from there. Gonzo, WWE's using him perfectly by keeping him out of the ring. Yeah, let him wrestle when keep him as a special attraction.
Yeah, like Brock Lesnar, keep him as a special.
Like Brock Lesnar, like Roman Reigns. Let him let him to wrestle when it actually means something. The Rumble means something. Mania
I will say
this
before addressing that next comment, but I think it's Ian. But as long as he keeps his attitude in check, and he I don't know the guy, but he kind of he seems a perfectionist, a bit like me, So yeah, as long as he keeps his attitude in check and doesn't start any drama. Oh, if he did, I don't know that whole AEW situation. The funny thing about that AEW situation, there's a documentary about it on YouTube. So, do you want to address that comment? Thinking that Raw said.
Do you think? Do you think I've gone for winning the Rumble?
Funny you should say that.
I actually said, thank you for joining us for this. I did say during my predictions for this match that my heart says Gunther, but my head says Punk, and I would love to see Gunther win it. I think he's had an absolutely amazing 18 months. The Iron Man performance last year showed how good he really is, and when you get a near 5-star match out of the Miz in 2023-24. That's how good you are, and it makes sense from a story point of view that he could win the Rumble, challenge Seth at Mania, win the belt, and then give up the IC then, and then he doesn't have to lose the IC. He keeps that mystique going straight into a reign at the top of the card.
Well, you may as well keep going, PK. We have to, keep the conversation with Gunther going, because Gonzo is asking, do you think we'll see Gunther at the Brock Lesnar at the Rumble? Sorry.
I think if they're not going to have the Rumble win with Gunther, personally I think that's the next logical step. Is they had that stare off last year with
they did tease that, didn't they? I forgot
Gunther
about
and
that.
Brock.
Yeah.
They could reignite that, and that could be a Mania match of Gunther and Brock, and then that could really steal the show at Mania. Two guys who like to work stiff and like to work rough, and being able to absolutely just lay into each other for 15 minutes on the biggest stage. I think that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, that was a good question, because I completely forgot about Brock Lesnar. I didn't even think about Brock Lesnar, but Brock Lesnar has been away for quite some time. So, and like you said, PK, they did tease that with Gunther, and that I would be surprised at that. That's a good surprise.
This is where I'm looking forward to so much, because there's so much stuff that could happen in this, especially this year.
You never know what's going to happen in the WWE. There you go. Go ahead, PK. Sorry.
Middle-aged gamers. Gunther is great. I do see him as a future world champion. Yeah,
definitely.
He's got star written all over him.
Definitely, he's got it all. He's got it all. He really has. He just needs to get some knee pads and elbow pads, and he's perfect. Chef's kiss. Gunther is. I know Raw. I don't know if Raw's still here, but that's my pet peeve with him, with Gunther.
I've been very, very lucky in my commentary career that I got to call Gunther winning a world title. Granted, it was in a small independent wrestling promotion here in Liverpool, my hometown, but I got to call him do that. So to see him win that belt, to see him win the Progress titles, and then get all the way to WWE. Have a run at first where people thought, oh, okay, maybe they don't see anything in him, to then have this last 18 months and go, no, they do see something in him. It just wasn't quite the right time. And for him to get in this fantastic shape that he's in now, he's every bit of a world champion, because it's believable that he could beat anybody put in front of him. But anybody could also just find that one chink in the armor and win. Like the amount of matches he's had in the last year, where people have gone, all right, so it's going to be Riddle then who takes the title off him, and then or oh no, it's going to be Drew McIntyre and Sheamus. So he's had a really good run, but Drew and Sheamus, so they're going to be the ones that are going to get that IC title.
Yeah,
we're a year after that, and he's still got it.
Yeah. And the fact that we don't know, because honestly, I don't know. We said our fantasy picks, right? If you can call it that. I genuinely don't know. I really don't know who's gonna win that. It could be anybody. It could be even Drew McIntyre. For all we know, right?
Yeah, and again, there's legs in
there's build up with that too, with
Drew being screwed out of it, or feeling like he's been screwed out of it, and then that can lead into more of the way his character's going. Because obviously you've got all these things with contracts coming up, and there's all that stuff in the background, but it's always stuff that plays to people's thoughts when they come into Rumble season. Obviously you've got like the thing of Okada leaving New Japan, and where's he going to end up? He's not going to be in the Rumble because his contract with New Japan's not up until the 31st of January, but he could show up on realistically on the SmackDown after the Rumble if WWE are the ones who've managed to tempt him in that direction. And Okada's one of the best in the world, and that would be a massive boom for WWE. Especially with how they're actually booking the Japanese talent now. There's just so much stuff that you could go into with all this.
Gonzo was asking who's the surprise. I mean, you know more because with the indie scene and everything. That's a PK question.
Not even an indie pick. I'd love to see Big E come back.
Yeah,
in the Rumble.
Big E, yeah, that's a good one. That's a good call. Yeah.
Obviously been out for a long time. I think that, and it's a good spot for him to come in, even if he only does 5 or 10 minutes just to test things out. And then
it makes the New Day whole again.
With him.
Yeah, makes the New Day, like they were before. Do you want to address that route that Ross talking about?
Let's have a look.
Talk about a rumor.
The rumor that Gunther would be winning the Royal Rumble and beating Seth at Mania, and we would also have Punk versus Cody at Mania. What do you guys think of this? I haven't heard that rumor, but it makes sense, especially after that promo on Raw. Gunther was every bit on Seth's level, and he's a realistic pick to be thrown him. I'd say even above a Punk, because he's had 18 months, 2 years of putting in the work.
Yeah.
And I'm putting in the work on the biggest stages.
Yeah, I don't know about that rumor. I take with any kind of rumor, I take with a pinch of salt. I would at this point right now though, I would rather see Seth and CM Punk, because that's like a real thing, like real heat or real drama, whatever you want to call it. I'd rather see that right now in this moment in time. Obviously, we don't know yet until after Saturday. CM Punk says Charlotte Flair.
Yeah, Mr. Charlotte Flair. Yeah, Andrade.
Mr. Okay. Oh, husband. Okay.
The rumor is he's doing well. It's not just a rumor. I think it's that match he had with Miro at the World's End was very, very much felt like his last AEW match. And again, I think he could have a good run in there. And I just don't know what the pop would be like for him, because outside of NXT, he didn't really do a lot in WWE
Right.
before he left.
Yeah.
But it'd be good to see him back, especially working for
Yeah.
the person who booked him best when
Yeah, I
Triple
wouldn't.
H was running NXT.
Yeah, I wouldn't complain. I wouldn't complain if Andrade came back. I mean,
Punk and Cody was to hype the Rumble, from what I heard. Yeah, I think again, like
they're
you
the
always find
headliners.
this time of
Yeah.
year, WWE will rumors and leaks will happen a lot this time of year because they'll want to try and distract from things and they'll want
Right.
to show people.
And there was that
and then,
segment. There was that segment on Raw. That was the last Raw, obviously before the PLE, and that segment again. If you've not seen it, is on WWE's official channel. So
and it was a good go home show as well for the
it
Rumble.
was. Even though I didn't see it, even though I fell asleep, but yeah, it was. From what I saw, bits and bobs of it. Yeah, it was a good go home show. Hopefully, SmackDown is good too.
More in the segments than the matches. Some of the matches were well done and good, but like the promo work, especially, and some of the other stuff going on around it, were really good. It was really good.
They could be.
Chad Gable and Ivar though was a fantastic little match.
Yeah, I mean, going back to that CM Punk and Cody promo in the ring. I mean, they could be just be blowing smoke, right?
Or that could be the Elimination Chamber match if neither one of them are actually in the chamber.
But no doubt,
or they are in the chamber, and then that's where they have their big
so much to
this.
There's so much to this. It'll hurt our heads thinking about it.
Big E's retiring due to neck injury.
That's a shame.
I hope he isn't retiring. I know he said things online and in interviews that his recovery is going well, but it's a broken neck at the end of the day. You never know how people are going to respond to it and recover from it. And look at Austin. Austin was on borrowed time after he broke his neck. And that's why his peak of his career didn't last as long as it could have.
And to be fair, he could come back as a manager type role, like in the background type role.
He's a big personality still, and he could be that just that big management presence of the New Day. Because the New Day, out of all the groups in WWE, I can never see them being split up.
No,
they just work. Even when they're off doing their own things, like Kofi laying out the challenge to Gunther and things like that, they're still just doing their own. They're still doing their own thing, but they always come back together. Outside of the Usos prior to all the jumping the shark with the bloodline stuff and extending it past where it logically should have ended. That's a rant for another day when it's not.
Yeah, and
hour and 20 into a show.
I know. Yeah, some behind the scenes talk. We did have a hard out of an hour and change, but I mean, to be honest as well, I didn't expect the chat to be as busy as it was. I guess I guess someone exposed the business of me being live, right? Right. So I was hoping to do it on the sly and was hoping to get out of here before a certain time, but no, it's fine. I'm not complaining.
No, I'm not. Thank you very much for everybody with the chat, with the comments and questions. It's been
and Raw's has posted something else. They're never letting us go home, PK.
When would realistically have The Rock versus Roman Reigns, since Roman is not participating in Elimination Chamber PPV, in case Cody would actually finish the story at Mania? Overall idea. I said it before. I believe SummerSlam. That's the next logical place for Rock and Roman.
It seems so because they're doing all these other build-ups, aren't they? It seems, CM Punk, Cody, Drew, and a lot of build-ups with people. So it looks like Roman, maybe they're waiting to pull the trigger for him to drop the title at some point. Again, we don't know.
The problem with Roman is they've waited to pull the trigger for someone to drop it to.
Right.
Now there's for the second year in a row, there's a logical person that makes sense that he would drop it to. But then you've got this question mark of The Rock, who he wanted him to face last year in Hollywood, who's now available, and he wasn't last
Yeah.
year. So it's kind of thrown the cat amongst the pigeons.
It really has, and
it's
and they've not mentioned The Rock again. Like, he came back that night, which was great. You know, we talked about it on Pook's channel, Middle Age Gamers channel. We talked about it on a Friday, just like a one-off show. And I said then the promo was fantastic. You know, the way he was gassed. He was gassed after that people's elbow. Yes, but the way he said, his catchphrase and the bit at the end, it was so good. It was such a good promo. But they've not said anything about it again. It's them kind of like they did it, and it's
No.
like, all right, we'll see you later.
It's and again, The Rock's going to dictate his schedule. Yeah, WWE can ask him, but he's going to say when he's free. He's not going to be beholden to anybody at this point. He's too big of a star. He's too big. He's got too much power and influence. Like like Gonzo mentioned earlier, it's just there's a lot. Anyone interested in Matt Cardona coming back? Maybe not full time, just because I've genuinely loved the stuff he's done on the indies, like the Indie God, the Deathmatch King stuff with in GCW. I think it's been brilliant. I think if you're going to show up, I think it should just be a Rumble spot, and then he goes back off to the indies and does his thing, and then he uses it as part of his character in the indies of, I'm so good I can be called back to the best company in the world, and then not stay because I don't want to stay. Like, he can play it in, he can play into it as part of his character. I wouldn't be interested in coming back full time. I just don't think that the way the roster is and the way the company is at the moment, a Zack Ryder fits anymore.
Yeah, I didn't like Zack Ryder. I didn't like the ripped pants and the woo woo woo. I remember that, and I didn't like it. I had a rant on that on. You remember that particular show, don't you, on PK on Blog Talk Radio?
I do.
Not Fat Ninja, the other one. I don't want to give it any publicity, but I think yeah, I had a rant on that one. Yeah, so I didn't like
Zack
it.
Don't need to come back for middle-aged gamer, so I think that's like the gonna be the general consensus.
No, he doesn't. You're gonna get some joke entries, I'm sure. They're never gonna top the Titus O'Neil slide under the. They're never gonna top that. Never. And I know they're not listening to this, but yeah, WWE top that. If you can top that,
I'm sure you're gonna get Wade Barrett standing up from the commentary table and saying, "I'm afraid I've got some bad news." Get in the Rumble and get eliminated within a couple of minutes, and there's
that might be a
like
bit.
That.
They're gonna have their jokey parts in it, and they're probably gonna have some joke entries, a couple of them, pepper them in there. That's what WWE is good at entertaining. They really are. You go to a WWE show, you're gonna get entertained. Definitely. That's why I like them. That's why I think WWE is such a great company. I know people will disagree on that, but at the end of the day, they are the best in the business. Just like me, apparently. No. Is that? Did you want to say anything else on the? Did you want to say anything else on the Rumble, PK, or? Oh no.
No, I'm good there. I'm genuinely looking forward to it this year, though.
Yeah,
I think it's.
I am too.
Last year there was a lot of excitement around it, but everyone kind of knew Cody was going to win.
Yeah.
But the match didn't hurt the match as a result. This year you got so many questions coming into it of who could win. It makes it genuinely exciting, and they very, very rarely screw up the Rumble. They've done it. Don't get me wrong; it has happened, but it's rare. So I can't wait. I can't wait for Saturday.
I can't wait for it either. I'm genuinely looking forward to it. Like yourself, I hope everyone is in the chat. We are gonna. We are, like I said, we are earlier gonna do a live react to it. So hopefully, you guys can follow along with us too. Get surprised and everything. I would encourage you to try and stay away from the rumor mill. Any rumors, don't believe them. get genuinely surprised, like because I can honestly tell you, and I don't know about you, PK. I don't follow the rumors. I don't like E3 and all that, and all the Xbox and PlayStation events. I don't put too much stock in the rumors. Um, so I encourage everybody to do the same. Um, but we are going to shut it down. We went longer than we were supposed to, PK, but we are at the 11 p.m. UK time, so that gives us plenty of an hour to do our business of things that we need to do before midnight, because things change over at midnight. So right, if people in the chat, if you've got any last thoughts on the Rumble, feel free to say them while we do plugs and everything, or forever hold your peace. PK, you got any plugs or anything or shout outs you want to do?
No, shout out to obviously Putin Ninja Middle Age Gamer, who obviously you would have normally done this on his channel tonight. It's nice to expand and do it on Obi's and expand our little network of shows, and looking forward to collaborating with more people as we grow this and going forwards. The plugs wise, it's at the bottom of the screen. PK_1 up on X and PKissock on Instagram. And shout out to This Is Wrestling, which is the independent wrestling promotion I work for in Liverpool, as a play-by-play commentator. So next show for them coming up is the 3rd of March, second or 3rd of March, this Sunday, and we've got a fantastic card there. So if anyone does happen to see this and they are in the general Liverpool or northwest of England area and can get down to it, it's always a really fun time. It's very family friendly, and yeah, I'm looking forward to that one as well.
Yeah, people in the UK, go check out PK and his commentary. Go meet PK. You may get you may have a beer and an autograph or something, right? So I know PK is always up for a beer with with the people. As far as my plugs go, I'm gonna be restreaming DSP on Friday. No, actually, no, I jumped ahead. I've got a show tomorrow on Thursday on Middle Age Gamers channel / Poop Ninjas channel. We're gonna be not talking about what we covered here, but we probably will go into a little see what Pook's opinion is of the video game and Netflix and other stuff. Then on Friday, I'm going to be restreaming DSP or Darkside Phil, just the podcast though, because he's doing Tekken 8 and the late shift, the night stream. So he's not doing Tekken 8 on the mainstream, which I don't get that decision, because it's like a release day for Tekken 8, so I don't know why he's doing 2 hours instead of the 4 hours, but whatever. That's his decision, not mine. And then again, I've kind of repeated it. We're gonna be doing a live reaction stream to the Royal Rumble PLE. That'll be on Saturday. We're gonna go live 15 minutes before. So if you want to join us for that, you can. And I won't jump too far ahead, but I think there's another show coming up next week on Lady Ninja's channel. But that's jumping too much into the future, I think. If you want all the links are down below in the description. I did put everything as the default description. Everything's down there. All the links. On X though, I'm Obi-Wan Jabroni, and that's OBIWANJABRONE. Just in case people are listening on just the audio, because people do that. I'm rambling on now because I'm killing time to play this special outro. Sorry. I made this myself, obviously. I hope you guys like it. It is something pretty special. PK did see it behind the scenes, and hey, he approved it. So as long as PK approves it, that's fine. Anyway, I'm gonna hit this outro. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Take care of yourselves, stay safe, and all that nonsense. Peace, guys.